You can feel clear, confident, grounded in your life, and then you're around your family and something shifts. You second guess yourself more. You feel smaller. Maybe you say things that you didn't mean to say, or you don't say what you wanted to say at all. And afterward, you're left thinking, why does this keep happening? This is a pattern a lot of people notice, especially if you've done some inner work. You can feel like yourself in most areas of your life. And then around certain family members, it's like you're pulled into a former version of yourself, a version that's more hesitant, more accommodating, more uncertain. And that can feel really discouraging. You might start to wonder whether you've actually grown at all. The relationships we grow up in don't just shape our thoughts, they shape our entire being. Your body learned through repetition how to stay safe in those dynamics within those first primary relationships. Your body learned when to speak, when to stay quiet, how to read the room, and how to adjust yourself to fit others. So when you are back in that familiar environment, or even just around those familiar people, your body can respond before you consciously choose how you want to show up. There's something else happening here too. Every family system develops a certain kind of balance. May not always be a healthy balance, but a familiar balance, a type of equilibrium. People are assigned or take on certain roles. Patterns repeat, and roles and dynamics become predictable. So when one person in that system starts to change, even in a healthy way, it most often disrupts that equilibrium. And that disruption creates pressure. Pressure within the system, pressure to be pulled back into former roles and patterns. And sometimes that pressure is subtle. A look, a shift in tone, a comment. Sometimes it's more direct. Guilt, pushbacks, strong attempts to pull you back into your old role. The system as a whole is trying to return to what is familiar. Individuals are trying to pull you back to that old version of you for their own sense of comfort. And this is where it can get pretty confusing. Internally, it can feel like you're doing something wrong. You're being too much. Or you should go back to the way you were before. But often what you're really experiencing is that discomfort of a change, of showing up differently, engaging in this system with these individuals differently, engaging with yourself differently. And you feel that internally and relationally. So the goal in these moments isn't to suddenly show up perfectly. It's not about saying the exact right thing or navigating your feelings flawlessly. It's about staying connected to yourself, even if that's just a fraction more than before. Noticing what you're feeling, what's happening in your body, what you might need in that moment. That awareness is where things do begin to shift. And for many people, these patterns are deeply connected to these early relationships, especially with a parent. The ways you learn to relate, to respond, to seek connection often started with a parent or a primary caregiver. And that can bring up a lot, not just intellectual insight, but grief, confusion, and complexity. This is something we'll be exploring more deeply in upcoming videos, so stay tuned for that. And if you're noticing these patterns in yourself, you can find a free guide below that can help you to begin working through some of this in a way that is personalized to you and your needs and your situation. You can also find a longer, more in-depth guide below as well if you're wanting to dive in a bit deeper in a self-paced way. My hope is, as always, this felt helpful and supportive. And of course, take good care of yourself. You're so worth it.